We need 150 new units a year, and how, so that's a target, and I think we need to move in that direction. Maybe in some ways we can do better than that. But there are other tools other than the community housing land trust, and other candidates too have been talking about the vacant homes that are out there, and I see a lot of desire to move on those houses quickly. And the housing trust is a great fit for it, because what can happen is that the municipality can just literally transfer the asset, the land part of the asset, to the housing trust, to have a place that the community is upholding, to be able to really then turn that opportunity. Like, this is what excites me about Winnipeg, is that problems, I think, are really opportunities in disguise. And so it's like, wow, we've got this derelict housing problem. That's so exciting, because we can turn those houses, using new tools, into places for human beings to live. And many of them need to be, if not most of them, need to be fixed up. Wow, isn't that awesome? We can hire people who currently don't have access to the labor market to work. And if there are people that, for example, have been in contact with the police, wouldn't it be amazing to have a city where the police are paying the nonprofit for the benefit of the reduction in workload that's being caused from hiring people to fix up those houses? So we're moving money in a direction where the good things that we want in the city are being valued, and I just don't think that's the case now.
That we get more people on buses. And so I really want to advertise and make more accessible the low income bus pass that's available now, but it's not used very well. So I would prefer taking an approach like that for now, rather than lowering bus fares. That's our preference in the short term.
Would you commit to reducing for the low-income bus fare, going as low as 80%, and then working towards a full fare-free transit system?
No, I don't favor a fare-free transit system, because people aren't, the folks that aren't riding the bus now, they're not riding the bus due to cost. It's a service. They want better service. And we've read a lot about what it's going to take to really get more people on the buses. And so having a system that's geared at getting that second group on the bus, I think is going to be critically important. But most certainly, low-income Winnipeggers need to have better access to the bus service. And for now, our approach will be focusing on expanding and making more accessible the low-income bus pass. As you also know, while it's smaller in nature, I am not going to be taking the car subsidy that's available to the mayor and donating that savings, which I forget how much it is, something like 8,000 bus passes, bus tickets to women's centers throughout the city. And I think we can use nonprofits to distribute bus passes and bus tickets far more generously than is being done now.
I support what they're trying to achieve, but I think there's better ways of going about doing it. And one of the things that I am excited about is the work of the nonprofits don't just impact the police financially. It also impacts other systems where people are wildly overrepresented, hospital, healthcare, and justice. In the first scenario that you're talking about, we have money that is currently in the police budget paying for something that's not part of their mandate. So what the public sees is, the police are paying for supportive housing, say, for example. And what I want the police to do is to pay for the impact that supportive housing has on their system, because then they see that it's actually a public safety tool, and a public safety tool that has better public safety outcomes for less money. So they're not answerable because it's not the relationship is in a modern context. It's not in an old context. It's a relationship where there's an agreement, and we can easily track what the financial benefits are, and that the money is transferred. So the nonprofit goes about doing its work. It's not taking direction from police or anyone else. It's delivering the outcome and getting paid for that.
So community experience with partnering with the police is very much often the police, and I've said this to Chief Smythe, we're often treated as the junior partner.
Yeah.
So
but
that takes away from the community. And of course the model that I have in my mind when I hear you talk about that is the proceeds of crime fund. You almost
it's
cannot
not.
get access to that money unless you have the police
But
approval for it.
here's the key difference. Part of decolonizing these relationships is, we're talking about money, but there's a second critical feature, and that is that these agencies where the money is now, they have to let go, because colonization is also about control. And so what we're seeing, what I'm describing, is a nonprofit sector stepping into its power, and you can't step into its power if we're not upending the existing power structures.